it going, everyone's asking. The answer to that is pretty goddamn warm. For some reason or another, the cab fan has decided it's done did its last of its blowing, so she's a toasty one in here today. See if we can do some spinning here. A hard pull in here. Bunch of this is that stuff I was disking yesterday around this sluice. A little bit of a hard pull, and some of it's a little bit soft there yet, but no, I wouldn't buy a John Deere because they charge too much for brand new ones. It would be a brand new Versatile because they're nice and simple, way nicer cab, better transmission. They've got a Cat engine a Cummins engine in them, and a Cat transmission. Better than the John Deeres. This live stream might not be super long because my phone is only at 60% here, and I forgot to bring my goddamn phone charger, but it should last for an hour or so anyway. Antoine was seeding, but he had to go load up the last of his Super Bs of last Super B of his soybeans there. So I told him I'd run the drill for an hour or two until he got back. We're not even, no, I don't know what we'd be here, 100 or we might be about a third done right now. It wouldn't be half done. When we're done the wheat here, we'll be half done, roughly, maybe a little under half, but there's about 30 acres left on Antoine's here, and then I've got 300 acres to go of my own. I'll hopefully be there before it's dark. They're calling for rain tomorrow, and then again the day after, or day after Friday, I think that's all on Saturday. So hopefully it wouldn't be a bad thing if we had a bit of rain, but oh, I've thought about the hats, but I've been a little bit preoccupied here with seeding and everything to be able to give too much more of a thought to it other than thinking about it. So, but I'm gonna get some merch one day here. We'll have a vote on if people want to see hoodies or hats, and then I'll try and figure out how to go about making and selling them. But that'll be one day. West of Quill Lakes. How's the weather out in that area? Half normal or what? Minnesota had snow last night. I seen some pictures there that you guys are getting some real shit weather down there yet. Hopefully it turns around before too long, but you're dry. Well, hopefully you get some of the moisture that everyone else is getting and don't need. So yeah, that intro was made by one of you guys there. So you just put the camera system in. I didn't see it. No, the camera system, I've had it in here for, this would be the 3rd year, and I got it. I've got this one on the back here. You can keep an eye on your packers because rocks like to get caught in there. And then they'll stop turning and more or less just be a big drag. And of course from in here, you can't see them at all. So I've got one more on there for when you're going down the road. When you're seeding canola, it goes in the tank. But this other one here, we've got it on the back. And then when you're going down the road, if there's someone behind you, you can see that way. So and then when we're seeding canola, it goes inside the tank, so you can keep an eye on the level of your seed, because you got to put a piece of tape over the bin, the level sensor, to tell you when your tank's empty, because the bags of canola never fill it enough to be above that sensor, and then it'll just, holy fuck, that's rough there, it'll just beep and squelch at you the whole time. So the seeder's 33 feet and the shanks are 9.8 inches apart, and we've got a paired row split boot on it, and that means the anhydrous is coming right down the middle, and then there's a boot on each side of that anhydrous about an inch higher, and on each side of that makes a row of seed. But I didn't like the job that split, that's a 3-inch split, I didn't like what it was doing, the job it was making, so I plugged off one side, so now it just makes one row offset, it side bands the seed, and it worked out a hell of a lot better than when I had that paired row. So days? Well, it would kind of depends more so on the weather conditions. It's cool out and not very hot like it is right now. Well, I mean today it's nice and hot out, but like it has been, probably be a week for sure before you'd start seeing too much poking up. it was perfect conditions. The peas, I've seen them up within 3 days. So. One thing about all these goddamn sloughs and this big drill, you gotta make sure you give yourself quite a few headlands of space here to be able to turn around. We're seeding wheat in here, hard red spring wheat. It's Brandon is the variety. Portugal. That's a little ways away. How's the weather in Portugal today? The chickens are doing really well. There's going to be a video about them tonight, just a quick update on them, like I've been trying to do one a week. So they've got all their feathers now, so we're putting the anhydrous on. We aim for between 60 or 65 pounds an acre, and we figured it out this morning. It was doing 63. So, and in my when we do canola, we bump it up to around 70 or 75 pounds. They're meat birds. North Bay, Ontario. That's a little closer than Portugal. Vancouver Island. How's your $1.87 a liter gas treating you out there? No, we don't put fertilizer down beforehand. We've got 50 pounds of 1152 going down with the seed, and then we put that anhydrous on in between. So once the crop is growing, it will find that nitrogen as it needs it there. It won't. You can put more dirt down that way, and you won't burn the seed. So you can put more fertilizer that way in one shot. How fast are we going? 4.8 miles per hour. There's the slough where I was stuck with the 4440 there yesterday. Always end up with all these stupid little triangles here. And you end up with a bunch of overlap. It kind of sucks, but don't have enough money for sectional control, so. What is a 99 rule quota? What do I like to watch on YouTube for farming channels? Well, I've answered this a few times, but I'll just list off the big ones there that everyone will probably know about. But how farms work, I watch once in a while. Welker Farms all the time. Northern Farmer all the time. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone or a couple of them, but no, I've never heard of anyone putting an 18 speed out of a Kenworth in these, but well, I don't think it would be much of a challenge, seeing as how those big bud tractors. Oh, that thing better not start beeping at me. Lately here, for some reason, it's been losing its damn mind about the coolant level in the radiator. Even though it's topped right up, you get that sickly damn squelch every now and again. Hear that? You dirty bugger. Some black tape over that if that doesn't shut up. I don't know why it's doing that. We've got a few things we're gonna have to look at here. Like the cab fan in here for one. Why it doesn't want to work. Yeah, it's an 855 Cummins in here. Straight 6. Best one you could get. Goddamn V8 903s. The only thing they're good for is being a boat anchor, so. Sounds like a slowly on my way to death whistle is what that sound is. Alright, well I got some black tape in here, so. Back in a second, I'm just getting some tape over this. Alright. How many comments did I miss? Small strips or wedges. Oh yeah. Well, if I had more time to run around, that might be a viable option, but I'll just deal with the little bit of overlap and double seating for now instead of running around with a second smaller drill for filling in all those spots. I'm gonna have to open a window in here. I'm dying. Listen to that big Cummins scream for a few minutes. Boats in Saskatchewan. Yeah, there's lots of them. We've got all kinds of nice big lakes, actually. I hate having the windows and doors open, but when you're dying from heat stroke, you don't have much of a choice. Saskatchewan sealskin bindings, eh? From Super Dave Osborne, is it not? We'll see if we can plug up the wing of the grill here. Get these cattails. Pull right through her. Perfect. The Amish people. Well, I think they're just gluttons for punishment, aren't they? Like, I don't know. I don't understand them at all. There's nothing for them around here. There's some out in Ontario. That's about it. So. Lots of Mennonites and Hutterites, but they're nothing like that at all. I know quite a few Mennonites. They're some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. So. And around we go. When the headlamps are on the potholes, and no one really knows. Oh yeah, you can say that again. You're never gonna find people that can cook like the Mennonites or the Hutterites either. I haven't been stuck yet today, thank you very much. Let me add that up in my head, how many we have planted. We have, there's 100 When we're done here, we should be about 450 acres. I'm glad you like the videos, everybody. I just kind of film what I see and try to make a few funny things here and there, but Chad Archer makes an appearance. There's another farming channel I watch. He's pretty fun to bug about his great big international that he's got there. Where's Tuan? I answered that at the beginning, but there's only 12 of you here, so he's loading the last one of his Super Bees of soybeans that he sold, so I'll be out here for a couple hours anyways. Fuck no, I don't sugarcoat the language. That's how you get rid of all the lessers that you don't need around there, that need to go sit in their safe corner every time they see something that scares them, so. Well, I would hope you see more than that today with a fucking $2 million outfit like that. Good day we do probably, oh shit, 150 acres with this thing in a good day, 160. No, I didn't pick up any more land this year, or the same as what we had last year. And last year was the year that we took on a lot. So last year I went from farming 5 quarters to 13. So you did that much before breakfast today. You probably did, but the key difference is this outfit here doesn't cost $150,000 a year in loan payments, so. I've got all kinds of data. I've got unlimited, so it just kind of slows me down a little bit when I run out, but everything I do at home is on the Wi-Fi in the house, so it saves the rest of my data for doing things like this. So I worked out my what I get for my little bit of money I make from doing the videos pays for my data, so it all just kind of supports itself. It's you don't make money without spending money, so it's an investment, I guess is what you could call it. So well, it's an option here because I guess Saskatchewan just has better than SaskTel, so you it's unlimited data. I think it's $100 a month, and then no, you get the same no matter what. So no matter how much you're on your phone or doing anything, it always works. So 3 gigs, oh boy. I'd probably burn that out in a day with what I try to do with my phone. So I've got a few farming apps I use when I'm in the field for flagging stones that I see. So when I go around and rock pick after, I kind of know where to look right off the hop. So I know for sure I don't miss any that I knew about. And I've got a few that act like a GPS, and I can map around sloughs and find out how many acres of slough there are in each field. I don't use it too often, but yeah, I don't know too much about what you guys have in Alberta for cell phone service and things like that. So my sister lives by Olds out there, so I know I'm not sure what she uses. I'd have to ask her. I know for the longest time she still had a SaskTel plan, but she got rid of that a little while ago. Oh fuck, I hope I don't get this one stuck in the mud. I've only ever been stuck with this outfit once. I had the 835 on it because that was before we owned, or before I bought this last year. And I actually pulled it out with the 50-20, believe it or not. The 835 had made it through the mud, but the anhydrous wagon and the cultivator and all that is what dropped through. And then of course 835 spun out. He didn't have enough footing to get all that yarded through, so 50-20, I got him 50 feet away up on the hill, and he had enough. He just needed that little extra from the 50-20, and it popped right out like no one's business. But as long as you're not stupid, you'll never get to a point with these tractors. If you can get the hitch pin pulled out, they'll drive out of their ruts. Like, I've never had it to the point where the tractor itself needed a pull. I've had to leave an implement behind before. When I used to put the anhydrous on with a separate cultivator ahead of time, I had to leave the cultivator behind a couple times and then use a big cable and pull the cultivator out, spin it around on itself and get it pulled out. But once again, I just pulled the pin out of the 835 and drove right out of my tracks. So. Antoine's loading Super Bees right now, the last of his soybeans that he had to sell. So. And I've got my window open for anyone who missed it. The cab fan decided to die in here, so the first day where it's pretty hot and sunny out, it's just like a goddamn oven in here, so I'm getting cooked. Yeah, this is the 895. This is the one we did all the paint work on, and I got the new decals made for it. The only thing it needs now is a cab kit, and I found a place that actually makes the kits for them. So I'm gonna get one for this guy this winter, same with the 835, and I'd like to paint the 835 as well, but we'll see how things go. I'd like to put an auto steer in this thing for seating as well one day. So I found a nice deal on the one that I'm after. If I ever found it on sale for a reasonable price, I'd probably consider it, but I'm using is called Farmer's Edge. Just a free app that I picked up out of the App Store. Yeah, it wouldn't be an Outback. It'd probably be like an FM 750 with a Easy Steer 500 or something, but yeah, he helped, and both grandparents did, because it was a bunch of the machinery was theirs that I started with, a bunch of which I still have and still use, and then I borrowed a little bit of money from the First National Bank of Dad, but I had a fair little bit of my own stashed away from raising chickens, because I started with just 2 quarters, and the first year I couldn't afford fertilizer, so it was half organic. Oh yeah, those FM 750s I've heard are real good, so. But we're gonna finish this little corner here, and I'm gonna jump out, take a look in the tank, and make sure going to have enough of everything to finish this. Antoine wasn't sure if he was going to have enough the phosphate 1152 or not. And we don't have any left out here, so remember last night when I was grain vacuuming, that was into the Freightliner, and the Freightliner was the one that we were picking that fertilizer up with the aluminum box on it, so that it wouldn't corrode anything like it would with a normal steel box. One thing about starting this job after someone's over half done, trying to figure out all of what little corners he's got left, because there's about 3 different pieces here all broke off. Like I said, they're calling for rain here tomorrow sometime and Friday, so hopefully we can get the cab fan issue and whatnot all sorted out. But well, it depends on who you ask if peas and soybeans need fertilizer. I always just inoculate them, but some people think putting phosphate down with their peas actually does something. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but yeah, I'm gonna plant 1/4 of soybeans this year. It's a small quarter, 125 acres, so they're not worth jack shit, and I've still got half of last year's crop yet too, so. What all crops am I planting? There's 1/4 of peas, 1/4 of barley. There's gonna be about 600 acres of wheat here. 650 some acres of canola, and then 130 acres of soybeans. Yeah, this is Brandon Hard Red Spring Wheat. Yeah, see, some people say they put phos with it, and I don't know, I never have, and they still usually run about 45, 40 in there somewhere, so. No, canola's not worth jack shit around here right now either. Nothing's worth anything, everything's fucked. I'm just out here for fun, because I'm never going to make any money out of it with the way prices are, but gotta pass the time somehow. That goddamn squelching thing. Oh yeah, the bullshit with China started affecting us here like a month and a half ago, so. Yeah, I've had winter rye and winter wheat before. If I actually go back to some of my very first videos, it was of swathing and harvesting winter wheat, so. With Brandon in this area, I've seen from 40 to 90 bushels an acre, so. That had the steeple. What? lands are on this slough, so that's not going to be enough to get this land train turned around in. Depending on how the year goes, anywhere from late July to very early August. So the ground is actually perfect moisture here right now. It's right there as soon as you scratch at it. So you couldn't ask for better sowing conditions at the moment, unless it would be a little warmer, then it would be better. But nothing summer followed around here. It's a waste of land. My peas are my summer follow. That's my medication for the ground. The big taproot and the nodules at the inoculation. Yeah, that was last year. We were a goddamn drought basically at the end. We were sowing in the dust, and other than the snowstorm halfway through harvest that lasted for a month, things were pretty good. So true nose. Oh god, oh that's funny. Yeah, I did say peas never again, because when I made that video I had the so-called experts come out and look at my crop, because some of it looked kind of sick. And I can't even remember what disease they claimed it had, but they said I was going to lose the whole crop and it wouldn't amount to anything. So I was going to try and knife in oats into it and cut it for green feed, which thank Christ I never did, because what they said it was actually wasn't what it was. And I ended up with actually the best crop of peas I've ever had. So that's why they're getting sown again this year, because right now they're about the only thing worth any damn money also with the way things are going. So can't start out, that's a good one. Nope, not seeding any oats. Not a big enough demand for it. The prices aren't very good, so I grew them once, and unless for some reason all of a sudden they start being worth $4 or $5 a bushel, I ain't gonna worry about them. This motor I haven't tweaked up, it's still stock at 310, so. But a kick in the ass wouldn't hurt this tractor. Get it around that 360, 370 horse would be perfect. Yeah, we were just talking about that, how I'd like to put auto steer in here one day. Yeah, this tractor sounds damn good. That big Cummins. Straight pipe one day, maybe. Maybe. A versatile Delta track, eh? If you lend me the money, 500 grand, I'll go get one. export. I've heard of people doing that, but I don't know what the fuck kind of market that must be, or fuck around trying to ship hay like that. I'd plant in a straight row if I had a straight row to plant in. The hay that they would dry it out completely so they could fit more of it into a sea can or small square bales, but whether any of that's true or not, I tried to get a hold of that guy once on Facebook when we were restoring this tractor, just to see if he had any interest in it at all whatsoever, and he never even looked at my message. So if you guys can get a hold of him or Big Tractor Power, send them this way. No, if you go with the wind, there's no dust blowing in here, thank Christ. So otherwise I'd really be sweating, because one thing I hate more than being hot, it's dust in the cab. So fan in here decided that it blew its last blow here, so we've got something to check out in the morning tomorrow, I guess. See what's going on. I'm not sure what exactly is wrong. The other issue being that goddamn squelch you hear every now and again is the sensor for the coolant level in the radiator, and it thinks it's low all the time even though it's topped right up, and just at random times it'll start beeping. So Montana's not even that far away from here, so oh fuck, we got lots of seed. When I'm done this little corner, we'll go look. The seed won't be an issue, it's going to be the fertilizer, so. Yeah, we'll spray again in crop here, but it won't be until we're fairly advanced in the plant's life here. That way, once you spray again, the crop will be canopied enough that any weeds that try to come after we've sprayed will be choked out by the crop itself, so then you won't have to worry about. The only thing that might come are in the alkali spots where nothing wants to grow but kochia, but there's not much you can do about that, honestly. But we got this little triangle left, and we'll jump out, make sure everything's still in the shape that it should be in and doing as it should be. So yeah, I checked the fuse, we checked the switch. There's no power actually getting up into the cab itself. So I'm not sure. It must be a ground, honestly. That's my theory. Well, I shouldn't say there's no power, just the windshield wiper doesn't work. Nothing in the roof wants to work, so I think it's the cab grounder. That's going to be the first thing I check anyway. Get ready to pop out here. Where in Sask do I live? Well, I like to keep it a bit of a mystery for everyone, but 5 minutes from Manitoba and about 45 minutes from North Dakota. So, right down in the corner here anyways. Alright, we'll park so we got a crosswind. Alrighty, let's go check on everything. Ha! No, I'm not an American. The one camera. It's down there, but I think it's gonna work out. Lots in there yet. Yeah, Brock Lesnar's a wrestler, and he actually lives about a half an hour north of us here. He's a real fucking asshole, that guy. But lots of drugs will usually do that to a guy. He lives in Merrifield, or actually on a little acreage just north of Merrifield. You can't kick them in the nuts, all the steroids made them fall off. So this tank here is at 40%. And so is this one. They're actually unloading evenly, surprisingly. Alrighty. The way we go again. Oh, it really seems hot in here now after getting out. Oh, I couldn't tell you how many gallons are in there, but I know it's, I believe it to be 12 tons. We had a late start today. We had to do some fixing on the air seeder, but when all's said and done here, we should have 100 acres done on this half, and if we get moved over to my field, we'll have a bit more than that done yet. So, oh yeah, you can easy put GPS in here. The one I want to buy, there's a bracket clamps on the steering column. It's actually the same as what Welkers use, if you guys watch them. And that motor goes on here, and then that little foam wheel moves the steering wheel. So. God, I wish air conditioning worked in here. Going good, just fucking hot, that's all. Goddamn cab fan, anyway. Nope. Little black switch box here, that's what turns the anhydrous on and off. This one here is the master clutch to turn all 3 tanks on and off on the cart. Then these 3 here, you can shut each tank off individually if you're trying to spot doctor different parts in the field. If you're putting down different blends of fertilizer for different spots, you can engage and disengage each tank individually. So. It's not Dad's air seeder, it's his buddies that he's running for him, but it's a Morris, I think it's a Magnum 2, I'm not sure, but something along those lines anyway. No, I'm not, I've never pulled it behind, and I'm not going to, because I think it'd pull the old Burgo in half having that much weight behind it. That roller isn't mine. I rented from that guy, so it's easier just to go and get it for an afternoon with the 46 and do what I got to do and bring it back that way. So. I would believe that the Versatile's better on fuel. These old girls here don't burn much, honestly. We've done, this will be 240 acres on 150 gallons, so. Christoph 04. I'm glad you like the channel. Welcome to the party. this fucking thing around for a little bit. You can see me overheating that way. How deep are we seeding the wheat? We're seeding this about an inch and a half deep here, so. Here is a 1981. I don't know if that's gonna be too soft or not. I don't think so. Oh, I just got the notice my phone's almost dead, so I'll keep her going for another maybe 10 minutes here and have to shut her down, but we're almost done. This is the last piece here anyways. The tractor's an 81, the drill's 33 feet, and it's a 1997, so. Yeah, the 835 is actually who used to pull this thing until I found this tractor for sale. And I wasn't even looking for tractors, but if anyone turned down the deal I got on this thing, I don't know, you'd have to go get your head examined, I think, so. There's a few straight passes, but there's just so many goddamn little potholes. Oh, Hudson, you finally made it, but you're here just in time for it to end. I've only got another maybe 10 minutes of power left here, so. I couldn't tell you what an 846 is worth. There's hardly any of them around. You never ever see one for sale, so. Oh, that's making her pull through there. Woo! You can do her, buddy. 1500 RPM. That was a hard pull there. This outfit here is everything this tractor has to give. All 310 horsepower are showing up for work here, pulling this thing. No, I wouldn't buy a big bud. Way too hard to get parts for. Aren't supposed to be sloughs, those things. Those are all just little potholes with all the flooding that have drowned out. It's finally dry enough here this spring, you're back to normal that you can go through them, so I burnt them. And that's one that I forgot to disc there. I must have missed it yesterday. We're going back for round 2. That's a pull, all right. Like I said, some of these low spots like that, that's everything she's got to give, so. It's the 855 Cummins in here, the straight 6, intercooled though. The 835 is the same engine, but not intercooled. No, it's not power shift. I would never buy an earlier 8 or Versatile with power shifts in them either, because you can't get parts for the transmissions if you ever had something pile up. So, what tractor is this? This is the 895, the one that we had painted. Big buds, some of them are power shifts and some of them have those semi-transmissions in them. I don't know if any of you guys saw Nick Welker's last video there, but they had a transmission pile up in that 5 1/4 50, and it's a 13-speed transmission, the same as what's in a big truck. So this one here, you've got 4 ranges up here and 3 gears on the floor, and then your reverse. So right now we're in 2. There's your chart over there. Oh. And that puts us about 5 miles an hour. So I've never run a Steiger, but if I were to get a Steiger, it would be a newer one like what the Northern Farmer has. Those would be a hell of a good tractor to have. Pick a gear and live with it, basically. Yeah, what's the story behind the pirate flag? I thought it looked cool. Mom bought a couple for the combines last year, but never had a chance to put them on, so I slapped one on the air seeder this spring. No, I wouldn't get a Fendt either. I'm not real big on European things like that. I've got one European thing already, being that sprayer, and if the rest of the European things are designed like that thing, oh good God. Plus the other thing with them, there's absolutely nothing for dealerships around here to be able to get parts for them. Well, yes, Fendt is goddamn expensive. It's one thing I've heard about them, but anyway, I just got the low battery warning here. That means we're at 5%, so it's gonna die any second. I don't have my charger with me, so this was kind of an impromptu live stream. I wasn't planning on doing one, but I figured to hell with it, we're out here and I got my phone, I may as well try and do one for an hour anyway. I'll try and plan it out better the next time and do it for a bit longer, for a couple hours or something, like in the peas there, if you guys caught that or not. But anyway, if you guys aren't subscribed and you're watching this, make sure you do so, please, and I guess I'll talk to you guys here in the next one. Spray coupe was Melrose, yeah, but the engine's a Peugeot and that's French, so that's Europe, so fuck that. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching, keeping me company here for an hour.